Hello. Hi guys, welcome back to another coffee break tutorial with me, Claire from Claire Creative. These coffee break tutorials are designed to help people, busy people with small businesses, to stand out online with simple strategies and really useful resources. So today I want to talk about the biggest mistake that people make when they're making their own websites. So with my company, Claire Creative, I help people to create their own websites. So if they want to make a website for their business or their project, instead of doing it all alone and going crazy trying to learn stuff, I work one-on-one with them to help them with the technical stuff and the content and the design, all that kind of stuff. So you're not alone in your website journey. And something that comes up again and again, and literally, I think the majority of times that I work with people, it's the same mistake that I see over and over again. And I'm not trying to be smug or anything. And it's something that I learned with experience as well. And it's not branding. It's not about choosing the wrong colors or the wrong fonts or the wrong layout. It's not even about choosing the wrong platform, like between WordPress and Squarespace and Wix and Weebly and all the other guys. Nothing to do with that. It's not about the images that you use, and it's not even about the wording that you use. All of those things are part of a website project, and they're all important, but it's not the mistake that I'm talking about today. The mistake is not having a plan. It sounds so stupid now when you say it out loud, but not having like a strategy, not having any kind of mission for your website. But then you're just like putting out pages and it's just like gonna not achieve anything for you. So when I work with my clients, the first session that we always do is like a discovery session, figuring out what they really want to achieve, because you're not just making a website for the fun of it, because it takes loads of time to make a website and have it do well. We always look at the goals for your project, for your business, for the next 12 months, the next 5 years, and break it down from there. So having a strategy, having a plan, having a mission for your website, you're already starting off on the right foot by just setting that foundation, so that every decision you make when you're making your website, it's got that goal in mind, it's got that end point in mind. And it's nothing too kind of scary. You just look at what you're trying to achieve with this website and have your website be the engine that drives that result. So an example would be, maybe you want to sell your handmade products on your website. Do you have any kind of traffic coming from anywhere? Where are people going to find you? How are they going to know about you? So that's part of the strategy. So the mission, the goal for your website is to sell these handmade things on your website, online. You need to know where people are going to find you and how you're going to encourage them to make that purchase. So that's part of the strategy. Are they going to find you on social media? You're going to bring them to your site, and then your site is going to be designed in such a way that it encourages the sale, or encourages a sign up to your newsletter, and then the newsletter is a funnel to sell to them, amongst other things, providing value. But having that strategy in place means that you know, okay, I have to focus on a social media platform where people like these handmade goods. I'm going to have my website, have it be really easy for them to take this action. So quite often it's people go down the mailing list road and gather contact information on their website. So if you look back at some of the previous coffee break tutorials, I've talked a little bit about kind of do's and don'ts of mailing lists and other things like that, and choosing a platform. So quite often when you're starting a website project, you're just like, oh, I really need to get this website done. I really need to get it finished. Maybe you've been trying to make it by yourself and it's just not happening. Maybe you got stuck on some kind of technical hitch. Believe me, it happens to everybody. So quite often people think, I just don't have time to just go and write a strategy and do all this research, but it really actually saves you time in the long run. Because if you don't have this kind of mission for your website, you're probably going to end up doing it twice. Do it right or do it twice, something I always say. So doing it right means just have a purpose. Have a purpose there built in at the heart and soul of your website project. So the parts of a website strategy that I often talk about are, so it's not about your website. Your website is not about your website. Going a bit mad here. Your website is a tool for your business or for your project to grow, to make a profit, to connect with people, whatever your thing is. Your website is a tool, basically, to do that thing that you want it to do. So the first thing to consider is, how are people going to find you? Second thing is, how are you going to get them to come to your site? So it could be that you focus on search engine optimization. Talked about that in the previous one. Bringing traffic to your website. That was the previous Coffee Break tutorial that you can find lower down on the page about website traffic. How are you going to get people onto your site? How are you going to entice them to make that click, which doesn't require very much effort on their part, but because there's so much noise these days with social media and 20 different tabs open on your computer or your phone, how are you going to encourage them to make that click to come over to your website? So that's something that you have to consider at the website strategy development stage. What do you want them to do when they actually get to your website? Is it subscribe? Is it buy? Is it to get in touch? Those are kind of the three big ones when you're making your website. What do you want them to do when they get there? So you've done all your effort on social media. You've gone, okay, and click over to my website to see the rest of it, or to see this deal, or see more. What do you want them to do when they get there? So great, you brought them over from social media, and then they've read the article and go, oh, great, okay, bye. You need them to take some kind of action, which is maybe subscribing to a mailing list, making the purchase there and then, or getting in touch with you to book a call, or whatever that thing might be. How do you get people to come to your site? What do you want them to do when they get there? And how can you encourage them to do that thing? So that's basically a website strategy in very simple terms. There's an article on my website that talks about website strategy, why you need one, and how to make one. So that's on clairecreative.com blog. So on the menu there, you'll see blog. And it's the website strategy, which is kind of a model for how I work in general. And there's also a really fun worksheet that you can download from my website. Requires sign up. Everything else on my website, you can access it without signing up. But there's something that I've developed called the website blueprint, and it's really, really useful. It really is useful. All my clients use it before they get started with me, just to get clarity on what this strategy is. So you'll see it's kind of all over my website. It's on the homepage. It's called the website blueprint, and you sign up and you get an email from me with this workbook. And you can print it out and use a pen and paper, old school, or you can just use the headings in your journal, whatever way you want to work it. This website blueprint, it's a way of getting to the heart of what you need to achieve with your website and start building the foundations for your website. So I actually didn't intend for this to be a pitch for the website blueprint, but it is really useful, and I don't spam people on my mailing list. If anything, they hear from me very infrequently. But I hope that was helpful for you today. If you are making your own website, just think of the purpose. What is the purpose of this website? What do you want people to do? And how can you get them to do it? And then every decision that you make on your website will be driving that goal. I hope that was helpful. If you know anybody who would benefit from these Coffee Break tutorials, please do share it with them on Facebook. Tag them if you like in the comments. And if you'd like me to discuss anything in particular, do get in touch. You can contact me through my Facebook page, Claire Creative Facebook page, or you can pop over to clairecreative.com and send me an email through there. I've actually, for the first time, gone under time. Just coming up to 10 minutes. Woohoo, I'm getting better at these things. Okay, guys, take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.